Before you had it on like a stand, right? It's recording, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we're live. Yeah.
We're live.
Welcome to the Animal Room podcast.
Yeah,
This is it. Another episode with another great guest, good buddy of mine, Bret Goodrich. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure to have you at my house, just like always. I feel like
Is this a shot?
No,
That's gotta be. It's a GoPro.
it is a GoPro.
Oh, but
Yeah.
it's not?
Oh wait, no. It's not. That's where this whole
Oh
table.
my gosh.
That's why I was just
That's
trying to give us a good reference point as far as like whether
It was
we
just-
should be sitting in each spot. And that's where these first few episodes are kind of seeing how we should sit, and that's where.
Probably mess this thing up.
No, not at all.
This can still be. Yeah, you can.
And if
you
anything,
don't even
that's
know what
where
we're talking about.
Well, we're talking
We
about.
honestly have a lot of food on the table because we're a bunch of fat asses. I'm not gonna
You could tell by our combined weight of 10,000
lie.
pounds.
We were just saying. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's in a future episode of the podcast. If this stays as an visual podcast, video, whatever
it should.
content, you think so?
It should. Yeah, I think that's good because your facial expressions are too good to not release to the world.
Well, and maybe not at first, but I think especially if I'm trying to pursue stand-up comedy,
Yeah.
I can't be doing comedy behind stage, you got to be going up on the stage.
Right.
And a lot of it is a part of facial expressions. I mean, look at guys like Chris D'Elia, dude. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
dude.
He's incredible. He's so good at just moving his whole body and everything. And you could definitely have that kind of vibe. You have that energy for sure. Now, so let me ask you this, because you've done even before the whole coronavirus thing hit, you did stand up at least 3 times at least.
Yeah, 3 times.
So
Maybe a 4th,
dude,
but I got
how
really drunk.
the hell was that, man? Because that's so much harder than singing, man. That is I've done that before, but that's so much harder. Like you gotta,
and I don't know if it's as hard as singing, harder than singing.
oh,
because
it's harder.
I've done karaoke.
That's dude. No. Comedy is way harder, dude. No.
I mean, especially the fact that you've done bigger crowds and have seen at least as have more pressure on you to kind of perform.
I don't know. Bigger crowds make me more calm. More intimate crowds, I get more nervous around.
Really?
Yeah.
And I guess I kind of would feel the same way, but I feel like I really benefited on the very first time, dude, at Canyon Cowboy when we went there.
Yeah.
It was a packed house.
Yeah.
Literally,
there was
packed house. There was comedians that followed me. So the fact that I kind of started comedy, and we had never seen comedy there at all. We'd been going there drinking, doing stand up for a full year at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I know. I didn't even know it was a year. Then I went onto my Snapchat and I was getting memories of 1 year ago today. I'm I've been at the Canyon Cowboy for a year,
dude. And I mean that place is pretty sick to where their setup as far as I don't know shit as far as recording or anything, but when they have that full band there and everything, dude, it's
those guys rip, man. They're great.
Sometimes it's there's some people that just jam up there a little too long,
and
but
they play the same songs every week.
That's
the bad part.
Well,
is you get the I mean, it's you want everyone to have fun, but
you want to be able to let everybody do their thing, freedom of speech. It's a part of the amendments, but it's.
But I've never I've played. The most I've played a song there was maybe 3 times,
and
I've
not
never played
consecutively. Though.
Right,
that's the thing.
I just know too much. Everyone's just learn
a lot of them are regulars to where if you're going to be playing the same songs and if I were to be saying the exact same, shout out to Antonio Correo with the Tuan with the refills on the White Claws. It's very great refreshment. I mean, not to get off track though on what we were just talking about, the Canyon Cowboy and everything, performing there.
It's fun, man.
But yeah, no, and that's where I feel, especially if we were to do comedy, if when I was going there, I had new material every single time.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to
you
go
never did the same jokes ever.
Well, and I didn't want to the fact that everybody was doing the same songs. I feel jokes are hard to laugh at for the first time, let alone hearing it the second time. And especially if it's not a very funny comedian or a really funny joke. These are my very first times on stage to where it's these are probably not going to fly at all.
Dude, I think you still pushed the envelope right away. Which was, I think I told you, Tuan was there for the first one.
Oh my God, yeah.
What?
You guys really hyped the
he went up
crowd
for
up.
stand up at the Canyon.
I never went up.
No.
Oh.
You were there.
First time, yeah. And like you were saying some stuff. Like I mean, we were cracking up. I was like, "Holy shit, that is edgy!" Like,
well, and it's funny because
that's what you should do, though.
Yeah, and I was kind of hesitant on like out of all the things I was writing like weeks prior, you know, like I was wanting to like kind of keep it clean or like because the crowd there is like a little older crowd, you know.
But they're kind of raunchy too. Like,
exactly,
you can get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean they're a little rough around the edges, you know. They're not fucking Karen and Bill living down the street,
right.
you know, driving the Tesla to the Skinny Cowboy.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it's great experience there because especially the fact that it's not like a big like. I don't know, not that it's not well known, but it's a little hole in the wall. It's a nice little hidden gem to be able to kind of work. Like when you go up there and do your stuff, it's not like you feel pressure by the people that are there. Yeah, if anything, they're supportive because they are actually there every week and at watching. You know, they sit through it all. Even though they go up first and second, they sit through it all. And for the most part, I feel sometimes they kind of clear out. But yeah, I mean, that's where I always hear, and I always hear comedians say when they very first start off in comedy, like they're like performing in front of like 1 to 2 people. It's like there's nobody out there, and like I could only imagine like the 3-4 times that I've done it have been in some pretty decent crowds, at least 10 people there at the bar to give some sort of a acknowledgement that I'm saying something on stage, whether I'm pissing my pants or fucking saying a joke, you know, like at least there's somebody to call 911 if I pass out. Yeah,
but but let me ask you this: like, what is like the effect of like time feel like when you're out there? When you're like, because you obviously like you're gonna like try to do a joke, try to do a punchline, and then you're gonna like wait for that gap of time, like. Is your heart pounding through the roof? Like in those tiny moments, you're just like,
yeah, especially
you know what I mean?
Especially when you don't know how the crowd is going to react, you know, like especially I don't feel like I've done a lot, if at all, crowd work. Like I hear people talk about
you did a little
work.
bit though.
Yeah, where like you ask the crowd a question or something, and they're like, whether like if somebody says something, and knowing that I had my friends in the crowd, I had some people to at least pick on, whether I roast you guys or something, or I could say an inside joke. There was a couple times you roasted us. It was awesome. No, I honestly didn't feel that any of my jokes were personal or anything, but I feel if any kind of whether you put out a song, somebody might look back at it like, oh my god, that's for me. Like he's writing that to me. Yeah, that joke, whatever joke I make, you know, like oh my god, he's fucking making that. That's about me. Like whether it's good or bad, funny, fucking talking shit on them, you know, it could always be looked in the wrong way. So yeah. That's why I feel music is at least a easier medium because there's I don't know. You can what's it called? It's just like whether you're like playing somebody else's song or like a lot of songs are either like written by a lot of people. It's just like where the jokes are not that songs aren't written by one person. A lot of them are. I mean, all the songs you're playing were just by yourself, but.
Yeah, but like the ones that I wrote. Yeah,
and that's where like I feel like I can't go up on stage and do a Joe Rogan or a Tom Segura skit, you know, like as much as like I can't do I can't do a cover. I can't do a cover of a joke. That's the thing. I can't cover comedy.
No way.
You can cover music all day long, you know, but
you would get that one person in the crowd and be like, oh, this guy's
dude, I was just staying up all night watching a Carlos Mencia, dude. A Joe Rogan and Carlos Mencia, their beef, dude. Like, and I was just talking about my mom.
Stole jokes from.
Yeah, he was stealing jokes from Ari, dude. I didn't even know it was like even involved with Ari Shaffir, dude. Yeah, he was fucking stealing his jokes. He opened for him, and Carlos denied the fact that he was even an opener for him back in the day, and like. I don't know who made this video, but like they clipped it and had all the proof, you know? I mean, obviously, like it's almost like just us recording this, you know, and somebody like go back and find it randomly, you know, which I'm surprised they were able to back in the day if it's recorded on VHS or fucking even later than that. I don't know. But yeah, so it's crazy that to have to go up there with. I mean, I could go up there with stuff that I've already have said before to work it out.
No, I think you should do that.
Yeah. And I want to, and that's where
weed out the jokes that are good, that you at least get some of a reaction out of, and just attack it and be like, okay, what are the good parts about this joke? Like, how can I make that even better? Like I feel like it's a little bit similar into the aspect of songwriting, where you just kind of, at least in the process of like coming up with an idea, materializing it, like just editing it, and just kind of going back to it, getting excited about. When you get excited about things, that's when it's easiest to write. But then, and just think of every angle that you can think of it from, like a joke. Yeah, I mean, and just watch as many stand-up things that you can on Netflix. Like, there's so much stuff out there to watch, and like, because you're obviously like a funny dude, and like the angles that you think of things are just off the wall, and they're fucking awesome, and it's something that can make people laugh. But yeah, just as a form of like trying to contextualize that and actually put it in a way for the audience to understand and digest, and everyone to like consume on a universal level, so that everyone's laughing along with the joke.
Yeah, well, and that's where I was wondering, as far as how, I mean, as regular we were at Canyon Cowboy, compared to, say, playing at different venues and going elsewhere, when you see a new crowd, how is that, like, as far as a reaction go? Because obviously when you have the regulars, like, you can play a new song and like it's the first time they hear it, but at least they know who you are, and at least they at least like kind of support you, and whether that, like, all right, I'm not going to pay as much attention because it's just Bret up on stage, or like, say you go to a house party when you play at one of the people that you go play for, and they like, it's the first time they ever hear you, you're like, holy shit, like. Yeah, I can only imagine when if I were to go when this quarantine fucking lifts, to be able to go out and go play at other clubs outside of just the local open mics, to where. Yeah.
I know that would be fun to just hop in the car and go like fucking LA or something. Oh, do an open mic up there, because the open mics out there are like totally different.
Dude, LA and San Diego, I feel, are just the inner, like, that's not even, dude. I hear so many stories of people just driving all the way up the coast, dude, and literally driving around the country. Not that I have to keep driving. Oh, dude, yeah. It's time for another shot? I mean...
I'll do a shot.
Just a shot, or I was just going to sip it?
Oh, we can have a little sippy sip. I was doing the Terramana on the rocks, dude.
I'll get some.
God, no.
Oh, I mean, I can grab some. If I had a little wireless microphone,
you got the long cord right there. You can go. Do you
really think this can reach to the bar?
No, I got it.
Twan's got the wireless though. As far as an actual wireless though, I hear it's pretty bad performing wise, because you could run into technical interference. You lose airplane connection. Feed. Some kind of feed cuts it off, and then dude, the rocks tequila is so good. But yeah, I always hear people like talking about the wireless mics can, like, Segura mentioned it on his last special, somebody had a wireless mic, and that it interrupted. It was D'Elia. It was on the very first taping of his special that the microphone cut off halfway through the taping, and that they had to come up with a wired mic because they're like, oh, sorry, like, there's another performance in the area that's like screwing with our.
I've seen more and more people using wire mics, in the stand-ups that I've been watching. Yeah, it is more secure, I guess.
Yeah, and I was talking to Twan about bringing your own microphones to places, Like, if anything, it's like you're going to be going to, like, with this whole coronavirus and people being more just hypoallergenic, they're going to be like, oh, I'm just going to use my own mic, like... Yeah. Where you'll probably have all the adapters. I mean, you have all the adapters yourself, but being that I'm starting to get into it, I'm gonna have to get all that. Do you need a pillow?
Oh, dude, that would be fun.
Dude.
Just a little armrest, right?
Dude, that's where I'm trying to get this all dialed. We had the laptop. We're trying to figure out if we have that in front of us. Antonio's got his laptop in front of him. That's where we could probably have I used to have 2 GoPros, and we could have had different setups and everything, different angles.
I'll bring my GoPro next time. We can get the angles going.
Well, I mean, that's where if this becomes a visual deal at all, I mean, the fact that we're calling it the animal room.
I think even if nobody ever listens to the podcast, we should just keep doing it and just annoy the hell out of people.
Oh yeah. And we could just name drop like all our friends. That we fucking hate.
Twan's like, no, I'm not.
Shit, dude. I don't know about that.
Cuss his mic off. I'm not here.
Oh man, we should just tell all of our friends dirty secrets.
Well, and that's where I feel the fact that
Just start exploding.
Just start first episode we like pick somebody and we just say everything we know about them.
Tonight
that could ruin them. Yeah, okay, we're not gonna do that.
We're talking shit on. I had a friend, I'll say his name, Patrick Moore. You know Patrick Moore.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about starting a podcast, shit starters or talking shit, because
Dude,
he does
fantastic.
He does like a daily like Snapchat update on like he puts it on his story, but he sends it directly to me.
Oh, his Instagram is great too.
Dude, I love it. He's hilarious. He's one of the funniest guys.
Oh, absolutely.
And we've talked about starting a podcast, like talking shit, something about starting shit, because he has he gives like a little like 20-second video of him like on the toilet fucking ranting and whatever, like just funny shit. And it's like, that's where I'd love to get him into doing stand-up comedy. Like I know like he just like does like the stuff like that. And
because you have to have like that little part of Gene about you that like just doesn't care, like about like what people think. And that guy is so good at just like keeping a straight face through jokes and stuff. Like he'll say whatever's on his mind.
Yeah, and even if like you're like you might get punched because of what you say, like at least you're willing to throw it out there and let it,
and then also keep going,
pushing the envelope. You know, and that's where like some people know their limits, but at the same time you want to be able to push those boundaries. And oh shoot, we have a little shots.
Forgot about this. Yeah.
Antonio, did you already take your shot? Oh,
not yet.
I can't hear with these headphones on.
So. Oh, we're good.
Okay, all right.
What should we talk about next? Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Let's pick a subject, I think.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I feel like last time we talked a little bit too much about, not that we don't have to talk about sports, but between sports and quarantine, or the lack thereof sports during this quarantine.
Yeah, no, none of that.
Yeah, none of that bullshit. Have you been playing golf at all? I mean, let's talk about sports. No, dude, I've been.
Maybe tomorrow though.
Really? What's tomorrow? Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, what time, are you working at all? You work in the morning or no?
No, I got the day off.
What?
Are you working tomorrow?
In the morning. But yeah, I'll be off at 2. I could probably get off a little bit earlier, and we can jet around.
Oh, that'd be perfect,
dude.
We're doing it.
It stays, dude. The sun stays out till like 7:30.
We're gonna jet around tomorrow.
Yeah, we're all
yes.
Let's go play golf tomorrow.
Dust off the clubs.
Yes, we're playing golf.
You're
tomorrow.
Coming out. Let's go.
Even if it's like 3-4 o'clock, dude, and just play 9 holes.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, and we finish on 8. We start on 9, finish on 18. Dude, bring the fishing poles.
Your swing is so
fucking set up.
Yes, dude.
Oh my god, bring the acoustic guitar.
Go.
Oh my god.
I'll bring a nice cooler full of lattes.
Dude, I'm down. That sounds so fucking good.
Dude, play 9 and then just like rip some lips over at the pond, bruh. Throw some catfish on the grill. Aha.
The tug is.
Dude, that would be dirty, dude.
The tug is a drug, dude. You know that? The tug.
Tug is a drug.
The tug is a drug.
Ugh.
The tug of a.
When you dude,
fishing.
No, it is.
What do you think I'm talking about?
Tug of your.
He's all. What do you?
I don't know. Okay. No, absolutely. That feeling when you have a fish on the hook, you're like, like you can't even help it, dude. If you've never done it before, you can't even.
Wait, one more time. One more time. What was it like?
All right. No, I'm not gonna. But like seriously, you do it once you feel it, like because you know it, like it's like that's not even a word, irrefutable, but it's like undeniable, like.
It's just
once you have it on the line, you're just like, oh shit, like there's a live thing on the other end of this, and you're like, oh shit, I want to get this, and then your primal instinct kicks in, and you're just like, oh, this is fun, this is good, this is sick, yeah. Dude, they used to have some hefty catfish in that pond, man.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was gonna say.
Dude.
Gangitano, or not Gangitano. There was another guy there. That,
yeah.
Kook. Kooky, yeah, he was a little bit of a kook. Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, do you really
that's
think
just a nickname. Kook.
Yeah, Kooky. Yeah, that wasn't even his real name.
You said
he wasn't a kook. That was just.
Well, and even if he was to listen to this, I mean, we're not talking ill of him.
That guy's probably dead already.
I'm about to tell a great story about him, dude. Are you kidding me?
That guy had one eye to begin with. He was like, he would walk in.
I'm telling you, it's a good story. I'm not talking shit on him.
No. But that guy would walk in.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh,
yeah.
well, now you're.
Now we're talking about like him.
Now we're talking about it.
Yeah, just talk about it.
All right.
No, there was this guy.
No, what did we talk?
No,
I
fuck
don't
it,
even know
say
what
it.
we're talking
Yeah,
about.
give me-
You say Gangitano, then you say Cucurello.
Yeah, no. So those names, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, that-
The
Were you gonna
fact
tell a
that-
story about him?
Yeah, a good story.
Let's
And
hear
that's
it.
why.
The guy had the putter.
No, not the putter, because I think that's a part of good. That's a good part of the story.
Yeah, you know about the putter?
I was
The
gonna
putter
tell about the fish story, dude. About him
Oh,
catching
that's
like
a
the
great-
15-pound bass, dude.
yeah.
'Cause you were just talking about the fish.
That
dude.
was. I think that was a catfish. No?
Catfish, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever it was. He
No,
literally, I
yeah, it
was
was a
picking the
catfish.
driving range. I think Brett was
You
picking
got a
the range.
15-pound catfish out of that pond. Dude.
Brett was picking the range,
That
and I
was
closed the
crazy,
top, and like literally,
Yes.
like
dude, back in the day.
next,
that was
thing,
like,
dude,
circus.
I was closing the top, and I hear holy fucking shit, and like I'm like, what? Like, is somebody getting hurt or something? And then like I see Terry running like across the street right there to the driving range, like with like a big thing in his hand. He's like, look at this motherfucker! Like it was a 13, 14. Like this thing was huge, dude. And he's like, take a fucking picture. I took a picture of him, dude, holding this thing. Oh my god, it was the biggest thing that I've ever seen there. I mean,
dude, that thing was massive.
dude, I see people fish there all the time, and like nothing comes out of that.
Except maybe the one that Shad caught. I think he has it on his Instagram. We have to look that up at some point.
If you don't catch if you catch a fish, you gotta
got you.
post
I got
it.
it right here.
Oh yeah, post it up. Twan,
Hey,
hey yo, Twan, you mind pulling that up?
I
Post it
got
on
you. Put the phone down. Keep talking. I got
Here, I
it.
got
Post
this.
it in
No, you.
post production.
I got it.
Brett, looking
Shad
at the
Instagram.
camera, should
I
we
think
post?
it's on, dude, it's a
Where do
massive
we put
catfish.
the visuals? We put it up in
seems
the
like
center, in the right. Like, say if he's
That's
putting
kinda
like
nice
the
right
video,
there, right
you know,
there.
like Twan, you know what I'm talking about? Like if you were pulling up the picture that we're talking about,
Oh, the thumbnail.
like where would it pull up on the screen? Would it pull up top left, top right,
Even top center, top.
Center,
I would say top
between
left.
us, on the TV
Top
behind
left.
us,
There's a lot of room up.
between the moose, like above
Either
me,
way. You could do either way.
somewhere.
There's a lot of room. That's nice.
Well, that's the thing. The fact that
So
we're
it's-
even recording this at all, I don't even know how long we have left to
That's high
record
school.
because
That's not
last time it shut off on us.
There it is, right there. Right there. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that thing,
Holy
dude.
shit!
Look at that thing.
That came from Bear Creek.
That was at Bear.
Holy shit!
That was 4 years ago.
4 years ago, Shad was 12 years
Look
old.
at that thing, dude. That's a 12-pounder for sure. That might have been the same one that
12-pounder.
Cook got.
It might be, and that's where I think there's probably only like
At
5
that
that
point,
live
the
in there.
fish lived that long, but now.
Big Daddy Kane lives in the fucking pond.
Okay.
BDK. Yeah, no, that's where. Dude, that sounds like a fucking great plan, dude. Well, let's go catch him tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, that's our mission. We'll play 9. We'll fucking bring some wine. Wine?
No.
Nah. We got
Come on,
some White Claws, some
Claws are
Trulies?
Nice and light.
yeah.
Truly lemonade.
Get you hurt.
Can't go wrong.
I was gonna
those
get the lemonade ones, the Truly lemonades. I was gonna get those at the store and fucking I don't know.
These are fine.
The
These are great.
I got 2 bottles of tequila instead. So
That works.
that took a big part of the budget out. Yeah, that's where I don't even. I mean, you see podcasts where they're like sitting in like office like chairs and shit like that.
Is the bong in here in the show?
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, here, look at my phone.
It's not in it.
Not at all.
No.
That's where, like, we were talking.
Crazy.
That's how we started the
that's
podcast
perfect.
off. That's how we started the podcast
Yeah.
off. I mean,
I was like, no way.
That's
that's
perfect.
where we'll give a tour on what we're talking about. The room. We'll give a tour on everything that's visible in the camera. We got our drinks down here. I need a. Where's my? There it is. We got a fresh drink right here. And yeah. What were you just talking about? We were talking about a lot of shit.
Talking about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can start on something new.
Well, if anything, I don't think we should like keep it super long. It doesn't need to be a fucking 3-hour like Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, but it
you
could
know,
be. We should do it.
it could be.
It could be. I think.
Let's do
No. Okay. You should at least an hour.
Yeah.
An
At
hour.
least.
Go for
How
an
long
hour
was the
this
last
time.
one? I think the last one was 45 minutes.
30.
34.
Yeah,
I think
and then
between,
we
if I can get to the 40 mark, I think that's like all right. Let's wrap it up. 30 minutes, like that's a quick podcast.
Yeah.
Especially, dude, I'm only starting off. I mean, people like when I see Segura's very beginning podcast,
think the more
they
the
were at least comedians for like 10 years. You know, they're 20-year comedians right now.
Yo.
To where it's like I'm on year one right now.
who cares?
No,
I just do it. I'm telling you, do an hour. Dude, there's nothing wrong with more content. I'm telling you.
I mean, you'd rather put out more than less, but
and the more you do, the more you're practicing, the better you get at it. Boom, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it sucks. I can't go out and go perform right now.
I know
that this is the only medium. Like
you can try out jokes here,
and that's where I'm trying. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just
part
trying to
of
be my normal self, and that's where I feel like when I'm on stage, I'm just trying to be comfortable and normal. You know, I'm not trying to be be. You know, just trying to have a conversation.
One-way conversation.
How and do you feel that? Do you feel the same way when
I'm singing?
When you're singing, like, do you feel like you're just singing to yourself? Do you feel like you said, when you have the big crowds, you're singing to the crowd, or are you singing for yourself?
Like, it's cool. Like, obviously, like, it's cool that the crowd's there, but I think, like, I perform better if I just act like I don't even give a shit that the crowd's there. Like, I just act like I'm playing in my room or something. Like, I'm, like, the only one on stage. Or if I'm, like, somewhere else. But, yeah.
Does, like, closing your eyes or looking, like, off, like, in a distant direction kind of help? Or
yeah. But like, the more comfortable I'm getting on stage, I think the better it is to, like, make eye contact with people and just kind of mind fuck them, and then no, really, like, just have that confidence.
It's true. I mean, it's like, I remember in English.
That sounds weird, but,
dude,
like,
I remember English class,
and people are like, oh shit, all right,
dude. It was. I remember English class. My freshman year.
They took videos and stuff of performers talking about it. And it's like, you want to make eye contact with the audience, like, and then they're just like, oh shit, like, this guy's business, like he's not, like, they take you more seriously. They just do. If you just and you're calm and you're like, you just have that confidence.
Yeah, and that's where, especially when you, like, even if you're not making eye contact with them, like, I heard, like, when you look at, like, their forehead, like, like, especially when you're in a big crowd of people, like, it looks like you're at least looking somewhere at, like, somebody's eyeballs.
I like to look in the middle of people's eyes and, like, just stare through their soul.
Just
stare through their soul. I'm like, your eyes are nothing to me.
Just get swallowed up into, like, a black hole.
Yeah, good enough. Just be that guy, that outlier that's just, like, mind fucking people. Anyways.
Well, that's where I feel like some, like, people, like, especially, like, rock metal bands, they definitely can, like, get crazy, whether they stage dive and get, like, physical with the crowd, or, like you said, like, they're, like, headbanging and, like, getting, like, emotionally, like, connected with the crowd, you know? Like, they could be like, let's fucking go! Like, you know? And, like, or, like, you could just be, like, zoned in on, like, the lady front row and sing Roxanne. Like, is there any Roxannes out there in the audience tonight? Yeah! Something like that, you know? One day. Oh, and that's where, I mean, I feel like your big. What's your biggest crowd that you've had so far?
Probably, like, high school.
And I know what it is, but, like,
on the football field.
What did they have, like, an official number? Ladies and gentlemen,
but it was, like, at least 300 people.
Record breaking.
It wasn't like that's not that many people. I mean, I did, like, the
football field was half full. It was literally from the goal line. That was a fun one, dude. Because, like,
really, we were
fun.
Playing, like, as the sun was going down, and there was, like, some pretty cool colors in the sky. I still have some pictures from that. That was fun.
And that's where
I sounded terrible, but, like, it's all good, you know.
Dude, that was so fun because, like, the fact that, like, it was on, like, such a big stage, like, I mean,
that stage,
dude, the stage is literally, like,
so sick.
I've been at concerts that have had smaller stages. You go to, like, a Warp Tour or something like that, like one of those festivals, like, they have smaller stages and everything. And are you? I was gonna say, I don't know if it's my microphone or something.
That was me from, I think my.
I was. I hear a little feedback. I don't know if. It's not nothing like that.
Oh, now we're good.
Yeah, we're still trying to work out the kinks on this second inaugural episode of Animal Room. Animal Room. I don't know if it's TAR. I don't know. Whatever the fuck we call it. The
Tar.
Animal Room. Tar. Oh.
Welcome to Tar.
And then, like, it's like a black splat of tar. You know, like a tar pit. You know, like
I know what you mean.
Like asphalt tar that's out in your middle.
No, just, like, have the logo, like the moose.
The moose. I'm just waiting to get that tattooed on me.
Just tar. Dude. Yeah, they get it tattooed on you, and then also use that as your logo. I can see, just the moose has a watermark behind just TAR dots, T period, A period, R period, and then it's like the animal room underneath.
I don't know if I'd want to get like my logo, or not my logo, but whatever I use as like a logo. But like I don't want to get that tattooed on me. I just want.
No, you don't need a logo. No, you're just gonna get moose.
I just want a moose tattoo.
No, do that. No, I'm saying, but like that's what you should do for a logo.
Yeah. No, that's
that would be fresh.
I've thought about that because that's
the centerpiece of the room.
Here, Antonio, do you have the phone? Because I don't know what animals are. It's not in the shot. I'm pretty sure I'm 99% sure the moose. You could see his neck.
You can see part of it.
You could see his like collarbone.
But that's all right.
Yeah, almost.
That's okay.
Yeah, but
still,
well, that's where, like I said, we'll give a little tour and show all the animal heads. We have like almost like 15 plus at least. To where
there's
like,
a lot.
There's a lot, and that's
one room. That's what I was like realizing last time I was here. Like there is really a lot in this one small. It's not super small, but
there's
this one room,
and there's more in the house too.
Oh yeah, all over.
Love it. My bedroom too. I used to have a in my room above my bed. I used to have a ceramic dinosaur.
Didn't it fall down and
swear to God, it was the size of
off of the wall,
above my bed. If the camera can see this at all, it's the size basically of my torso to my head, to where it was above my bed where I slept. Literally, oh yeah, you can see me. Yeah, it literally hung above me when I slept at night, and it. I don't know why I wanted a T-Rex, let alone an animal headed in my room, sleeping, looking at me every night. And one night it fell on top of me. Like, I don't know if it was an earthquake or what the fuck happened.
It was probably.
I mean, it was ceramic, so it wasn't like literally like a fucking animal head.
I mean,
like
that's still heavy.
Dude, no, as like when it happened when I was like 13, 14 years old, like I probably could lift it up off the wall. I mean, it was like I said, like I definitely could lift one of these bad boys. Like that guy, I moved.
That moose is pretty damn heavy though.
He's bolted into the wall.
But if you were just to hold the weight of it though,
oh dude,
that's probably pretty fucking heavy still.
I mean, I don't know the stat. I think moose or meese, like a herd of moose, are
still moose.
Are a bunch of mooses.
Oh, that's my. I used that.
I got that from you.
Yeah.
That's a credit to Bret Goodrich. And look at that. There's me stealing your jokes.
On the record, I know it's not a real word, but I still use it.
Oh,
as a joke.
I've always used it. The fact, like when you have told me that moose, like a bunch of moose are meese, it makes sense
because you get a goose.
They're geese.
Geese, yeah.
You got mice.
What the hell happened? Just because there's an M instead of a G?
Doesn't make sense, brother.
Why? Why is it? There's so many circumstantial rules for English language. It's so dumb. I kind of like it though. But
that's where it's.
I kind of like the word. I like meese.
Meese it should be in the dictionary, and if anything, if it's not,
another guy here, he knows what's up.
Mises.
He'll probably watch this shit. He'll watch this shit. The guy that I have an inside joke with.
With Mies?
With Mies. You already know.
What's the inside joke?
now I feel like because like,
it's long. It's
one too many White Claws to the wind to know.
White Claws to the wind.
Does his name start with a J or an S?
F.
An F?
Yeah. Anyways.
Wow. Well, anyways, thank you guys for. I mean, you guys are the heart and soul of this entire podcast. Just solely on the fact that you guys literally have the equipment to keep this operation running.
Oh, I love it.
Because I don't own a microphone outside of my iPhone headphones. So, would you say I can keep this? I heard that it's on recording.
It's on recording.
No, I have
using
a microphone.
I have it over here.
I'm in the
I don't
process.
even know. Like when I took it home last whatever week we did this, I was like, why not even take it? I'm not using this shit. Just leave it here.
Wow.
Except this cord. I need this cord. All right.
Except for this, and that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Sorry.
Sorry, you just peach in my ear, little brother. I'm bleeding in there. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up on that. If we're even giving a salute goodbye.
Oh, man.
Reese's brother.
This one was bad.
This is great, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. All right.
Salute.
Do I just like unplug the microphone or throw it out the window?
Stop on this.
Do I clap? Do I make a clap?